taxes, inflation, and the breakdown of the family are causing us to fall behind. We have the lowest net worth in the United States, and I'm sure those numbers cross the border as well.
Some people get the disability tax credit and they don't open the registered disability savings plan, and that's where the government puts in all the money of grants and bonds for a person with a disability who has done all the steps. Some people don't do all the steps.
Good morning, everybody. It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers. It's sponsored by Doveman Plus Care. And being part of that team, since 2020, we've reached out directly and indirectly to over 400,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world. So that is fantastic. And as always, I like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. And people who are regulars here will say, where's Ryan? Ryan's here because Ryan is the big dog today. Dragons and t-shirt. Ryan is the big dog, big man today. Ryan, what is going on, Ryan?
Hey, things are, I would say, semi-fantastic. Good to see you, brother.
Only
so
semi?
For those that wondering why I might be glowing and excited, so yesterday we had teased on previous episodes on the Morning Vibe that I was going on Dragon's Den with our company Detailing Nights. So we provide mobile waterless car cleaning and go to people's houses, and we're looking to franchise. So going on the Dragon's Den, you might have seen there was one dragon in particular that I was glad was a new dragon this year. So Brian Scudamore, that is the founder of 1-800-GOT-JUNK, is actually the gentleman I got a deal with. So I went in asking for $150,000 for 18%, and he countered with 25%, and we landed there. So the deal was $150,000 for 25% of Detailing Nights. And we got this nifty plaque here, Detailing Nights, little certificate. So the certificate acknowledges that Detailing Nights, in the spirit of entrepreneurship, faced the fire on CBC Dragon's Den season 19, 2024. And I didn't know you were gonna pull it up.
Yeah, why not pull it up? We're not going to play the whole thing, but on Monday's show, we're going to play the whole thing.
Nice.
We're going to play the whole thing.
So initially, I was targeting West Hall. So those that know, I was hoping to get a deal with West Hall, but if you haven't watched it yet, you'll see how it panned out on Monday when we play.
We're gonna play the whole thing on Monday.
All right.
Whole thing. Now, it's interesting about West Hall. Well, okay. So So when you came in there, were you targeting West? Is that who you wanted?
Yeah, I thought that I had a good shot. He knew a bit about my background. He's seen what I've been doing with the Afro Caribbean Business Network. So I thought, those things would play into getting a deal with the gentleman. But he even mentioned that because Brian has more expertise in where we wanted to take the company, he was like, yeah, you got a solid partner there.
We won't go too much into detail on it, but I think first of all, congratulations. Has the deal been signed?
No, so due diligence is the big, I would say, that's where all the work is. Like the show is the hype, and then the due diligence. So with Brian's team he actually has a team called the Flywheel Accelerator. So they work with franchise partners to build up their businesses. So I've gotten some homework that they've said, we need to see your board of advisors on your board of your company. Oh yeah, solid. They want to
scrutinize.
The lawyers. We met with their team to say like, hey, answering questions about the vision of the company. So yeah, definitely there's areas for Detailing Nights to fine tune before we're going to be able to sign. I'll say by the end of the year, you'd know for sure.
Okay. Well, one last question. How much did your phone blow up last night?
I was up till 2:00 in the morning responding to messages. So thank you to everybody. And so we did a little watch party at the office in Brampton. So my parents were there, my siblings, and yeah.
There's your fitness guy.
Yes. So you might notice Kenneth. So he works with Detailing Nights, and Chris Beth. She came to help so that we had another team member. So Chris Beth is from Empowered for X, but she's had worked with DK since about 2014, helping with our youth program. So yeah, it was.
We're not going to get into too
much at the watch party.
Yeah, on Monday we're going to go a deep dive. Now that hopefully Nicola doesn't mind, because Nicola's supposed to be coming on Monday.
Yeah, and again we'll do the deep dive at the beginning, and then we'll go into our guests. We'll take that 15 minutes because the pitch is only 5 minutes, and I think I was there with them for about 30 minutes. So
they edited it down.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see how they cut it because I had never seen how they were gonna present the pitch. Yeah. But then you remember a question that you got, and then you answered it a certain way, but they changed like the sequence. So you'll see something that Wes says where, it was out of sequence with when I said something. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. But it made more sense because he was giving me advice about something. So it's like they clipped the part where I said something stupid and then he gave me the advice.
Editing. So it'll be interesting. It will be interesting to see. Again, we'll just keep it short and it down if Wes stays in touch with you.
So after the actual pitch, on his LinkedIn, usually there's just an autoresponder. So he did respond back and said like, hey, because one thing they cut out too is that he said, oh, we'll get you to come and detail our cars at our house. So I'm still going back and forth with him to schedule that so that we can do his mini fleet. But yeah, he did reach out. So that was cool. But again, I remember meeting him when he did his book launch. So he went to that book launch and, got it signed and said hello. But yeah, hopefully, like you said, stay in touch for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. So for, I guess now you become everyone's going to come to you about pitching.
That was meant. So a gentleman, Colin Williams, came to the watch party yesterday, and he's the owner of, it used to be Gospel Cafe. Now it's UC Jerk Express.
I know him.
And he said something that it was like, yo, it was well done that you've now set the bar. So that, like you're saying, like to be able to encourage others and coach them on like how I prepared, because there was a lot of planning, and I'm a big fanboy of Dragon's Den. So I remember sitting down and walking through, okay, out of all the shows, you've watched like 18 seasons of this, the questions that you're going to get. So writing down those questions and making sure that the answers to them, I was prepared for it. So nothing that they asked really caught me off guard. I mean, if you watch Dragons Den or Shark Tank, where the dragons and sharks are going to pinpoint. So that I think really helped, is just preparing.
What's actually funny again? It was easier for me to get my deal with Doveman Plus Care than this.
So, hey, if you're able to get direct access to those, especially with sponsorship, absolutely. And this is where, because these types of dragons, you can't really call them up or send them emails. So if you want to get in front of them, this way is easier. But how many corporations are there that have dollars to spend? So yeah, being able to go direct, definitely easier.
I keep on saying it, family, like Ryan got on Dragon's Den. That's very rare.
And even the journey, I filmed a quick video because people were asking me, like, oh, how did you get on? How did you get on? And this started from February to now almost end of September. So in February, they do the open audition. So you can go down to CBC Studio, audition your business in front of the producers, like a pair of producers. And then from there, they call you back. And they called me back in May to actually pitch and film. So you're pitching in front of the dragons to see what happens. And then the show doesn't air until the fall. So from from February to September, that whole process, you have to be willing to do the grind, and it's not guaranteed at all.
Exactly.
It's not even guaranteed that you get on the show. So
And we are saying, and even Ryan hasn't got the money yet, family.
That's right.
Right. So I keep on saying to people, and Ryan did a great job, but the stuff I had to do with Dove Men Plus Care,
right.
All it took was one presentation of less than 30 minutes.
Hey, absolutely.
And that's been going on now. It's now going in 5th year. And the nice thing is we don't have to sell one piece of Dove Men Plus Care product.
Right. And not give up equity in your enterprise, right?
Not at all. Not at all. All right. We could be rambling on about this, but Monday's going to be the day that we go all in on this. So we're going to show it and do the whole 9 yards. I'm going to stop actually showing it right now.
Cool.
All right. So, people are saying some things here. Good morning, Fitness IQ Cam. She says, congratulations. Miller Group says, good morning, gentlemen. Congratulations, Ryan. Well done.
Much appreciated, Ray.
Motion says, hi, everyone. Dr. Vibe and Ryan Knight. JJ Mars, what is up in Colorado? What's going on with JJ Mars? Serena Wills goes, good morning, everyone. Congratulations, Ryan. Good stuff. JJ Mars says, congratulations. Ryan, where can we watch the show and the replays? And then
CBC Gem is their on-demand portal, so you would be able to log in. And
you know what? I will. Yeah, Serena, I'll back channel you. You can watch the replay on CBC Gem. You have to register with CBC to see it. What I may do is I may actually screen record it, and I could be able to send it to you. I may do a screen recording of it. So you tell me, Serena, on the back end, and also I have to respond. You sent me a message this week, so I have to respond back to that. Wayne Harris, big up, King. Good morning, all. Actually, last night, myself, Ryan, and a few other, actually had an international conversation myself.
Nice.
Wayne Harris, and there's a gentleman from Australia, another gentleman from BC, another gentleman from the United States, and some other viewers. We had an international conversation, a lot of about fatherhood and depression. It was a really powerful conversation. It was, when I left, my heart was full. It was really good. And Wayne jumped in regards to this. So a few other things. So as always, subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube. Hit the notification button. Follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. To advertise your business, product, or service on the show, please email me at dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. Join the Morning Vibe Discord group. Please email me at dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. I'm actually going to see if I can upload to Discord your appearance.
All right, excellent.
And also check out Dr. Tachi and her wonderful platform, Indie Soup Media TV, where she has over 40 content creators, and I think it's 18,000 YouTube subscribers now in 6 months.
Keep pushing.
Yeah. So a few upcoming things. Many of you may have caught the live watch party for the day between Harris and 45. Well, due to popular demand, and actually Cesar pushed this, Cesar Nadim Mahmoud says, we should do one for the VP debate.
Nice,
so we are doing a watch party for the U.S. vice presidential debate. It's coming up this Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, I should put. But so we are doing a round 2. So get ready. And actually I have another person who's going to be participating who is actually a counsel. She sits on Black African Canadian lady who sits on the City of Waterloo Council.
Oh, okay, nice.
She's big into politics. Actually, was introduced to her by Michael Couteau.
Excellent.
So those are some of the things that are going on. I think for now that's a bit of everything. So Ryan, you're here to the bottom of the hour, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay,
I gotta head downtown.
Yeah, you love downtown.
Right.
Oh, actually, by the way, are you going to Elevate next week?
Yes, because they're doing the Black Innovation Zone. So I was gonna go check.
They
that
are.
out.
Well, it's funny. I went on their website. I didn't see anything about that.
So Melissa from Nobellum, and I believe Olu from the Black Entrepreneurs Alliance, and Efosa from the Black Founders Network. They did that Black Innovation Zone at Collision.
So they're doing it again.
At Elevate.
At Elevate.
Yeah.
Why don't they come on here to encourage people? Well,
but when Elevate's next week. So one thing I'm going to tomorrow is that Next Level conference with
that should be interesting,
right? Yeah. So that's happening tomorrow all day.
Yeah, that's a full day.
Yeah, it is. I think it starts at 10 a.m. to the evening.
9.
Okay, see?
9 a.m. Well, I have my thoughts about going to things like that these days, but that's a whole other conversation.
And are you going to go see Dr. Umar come in October 5th, the next Saturday?
Will he show up?
Right. I think that's been the buzz in the Facebook groups I've seen, is because it got postponed from earlier this year. So not canceled.
He's allegedly supposed to show up so many times.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But I have. It's an interesting lineup. Let me just put it that way. Right?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. There's. Yeah. I'll just leave it at that. It's an interesting lineup. I'm just gonna leave that, and we'll see if Umar shows up.
Gotcha. Yes.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we've got Minnie St. coming in for her monthly visit on the Morning Vibe. So we'll be back in 30 seconds.
I'm sorry, Andrew Weissman, but if I recall correctly, in 2018, you were one of the people who helped write the Mueller report, and you all botched the hell out of that.
And never in my wildest dreams would I have thought we would be here. I thought we were better as a country.
Oh, yeah.
Like all these sites that have been around for creating videos and all that, like text stock videos, they're done.
But that's why Canva was one of the first to get into doing AI.
Okay, we're back on the Morning Vibe, broadcasting live September 27th. Was it yesterday Detailing's Nights Day, by the way?
What?
The weather was so good.
Oh, well, so before the watch party, yeah, car cleaning was happening. So I'm loving this extended summer-ish, like the fall crisp is still there in the morning and in the evening, but during the day it is very nice. So yeah, no complaints on our side.
I actually did my once a year golfing thing yesterday, so it was quite.
Oh, okay. Is it just you go like with a couple people or?
Yeah, well, there's a large group of gentlemen who I went to high school with. We all played football and rugby together, and for the last 3 years, we go out once a year to go do golfing. And there's people. The craziest thing is, my high school gym teacher is still alive.
Okay, right.
And the man can golf. What?
Okay, what? That's solid.
Yeah, I am not a good golfer, family. I like, and the thing is, if I was paired with him, I'd shame myself. He is, he's an avid curler.
Okay, right. Yes,
full active. But you know what we're taking away from our guests, and plus Ryan's got to jump soon. So let's bring to the stage Minnie St. What is up?
Hey.
Hello.
All right. So next time you see Ryan, well, both of you were famous yesterday. So Ryan was doing Dragon's Den. And where were you last night, Minnie?
I was supporting Christian Wong Tam's nomination celebration for Toronto Center. And it's really nice because I met her years ago when I didn't know who she was. I'm not a political person, but I'm slowly becoming one. And it's a lot of people. And it wasn't just people you're anxious to go somewhere because you don't know anybody.
Right.
I did. I met people I knew. I met new friends. It was a very good idea to go out for a structured event that had its own after party.
So is by-election happening, or they're just getting prepared for
the Ontario by-election? Yeah,
by-elections happening.
We are getting ready, and we are super, super motivated to get ready.
Okay.
Wow. Well, okay, just a few quick things because I know Just quick. So Macmillan Group says CBC Gen can't be viewed in the U.S. Hopefully it makes it to YouTube. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Oh.
It'll probably so with Dragon's Den, it may be on third-party websites. They may have it because I don't watch cable anymore. So if you can't get your gem, another website may stream it.
I used to watch old episodes on CBC's website. I don't know if they took those down, but usually the past maybe 5 seasons, they usually have them up.
Okay.
Probably not the active
So
season.
what I'm going to do is I'll get a recording of it, and if people want it, I can send it to you via file transfer. So it sounds like that. So Wayne says, big up Dragons Den King. It says, Ray, thanks for that, Serena. So Serena, we'll work on doing that for you. Serena says, Indie Suit Media is almost at 19K. Yes. Fitness says, sweet Serena. Hey, Fitness. So we got a whole little side party going here. Gotta run. Dr. Vibe and Ryan, keep up the great work. Both of you inspire me to redefine the word possible.
Yes.
Roger Dundas says, Ryan, I didn't realize I could have bought 25% with $150,000. Congrats again. Okay.
Hey, I might pitch you for a couple other percentages. We'll get the media play going.
All right.
But it's not just like they experience businesses a long time. They're professional business people. It's a different environment because the partnership comes with like a Rolodex, the best way to describe it. Yes, I know what a Rolodex is. I'm old enough to know what those are.
Yes.
It's so true. Yeah, the expertise, that's where, you're getting a lot of added value there.
Well, Wayne says you can use on demand to see it. Yes. And then C Nurse K says, morning, all you can watch it on YouTube. My friend watched it on YouTube from Arizona yesterday. Was so proud of you, Ryan. Way to represent. So by Monday, we'll get things clarified on how you can view this thing. All right. Fitness IQ goes, haha, Roger. And she goes, Fitness IQ, hey, Minnie. So, Minnie, what? And you will notice something different about Minnie on camera today. Does anyone notice something different? No one? Does anyone notice something?
What, a new microphone?
Yes.
Not wearing a headset. Hello.
Oh, gotcha.
It's still here. Don't knock my headset. It's still
I'm not knocking
I can still pull this thing back out.
You're not wearing it. I didn't say I'm not knocking it. You're not wearing it.
Okay. Hey, upgrade, I guess.
So
progress.
So Minnie approaches saying, "Oh, this is," and so I suggested a microphone for her to purchase, and she is now using. We're not going to say what brand it is because they ain't paying me to promote it. So,
and same with my boom arm. We're not promoting the boom arm either.
Link.
Tell me about the boom arm. What?
That's next level. How you mean?
Hey,
well, that's a studio play.
Look at this.
That's sweet. I love it.
Okay, so joking aside, you want to chat about government policies failing people with disabilities in Canada. Where you want to start?
I say we start with the letter, not all of it.
No,
because each paragraph will activate a conversation piece.
Okay, so what I'm going to put up on the screen for those watching live or in the replay, Minnie actually sent a letter to Kamal Khera, Federal Minister of Diversity, Inclusion, and Persons with Disabilities, and Marcy Ian, Member of Parliament for Toronto Centre, Canada Minister for Women, and Gender Equality for Youth.
Not sure.
And I also sent to Christian Wong Tam. She's my Toronto Centre representative. So it went to 3 different people. It took a trial and error to figure out the right email address to send it to them. They all have the copy. They all know what's up. If they ignore it, their people in their office are filtering that message. But Christian Wong Tam's office is the one that responded back to me all week with emails.
Oh.
So I'm very happy for my representative in my city because she cares. It's a genuine, we care, we'll listen as much as we can. Where her office said they're hoping to read it live on record when they go talk to people in their offices and debating that I remember debating in grade 6. So it's something that everyone should practice to do.
100%. And that's where people don't realize political figures are there to represent us, and especially your representative in your territory. They have to respond to you. So when you have these letters, or even calling their office or showing up at their office, that's what, and their staff is there to make sure that those are answered. So you will get, I won't say an audience, especially if they become a minister, it gets more difficult to get an audience with them, but sending information and things that you want to see done, I'll follow Minnie's lead, because they're there to hear you out and then see if they can support you in any way.
Okay, so Finance IQ Radio recognized her mic, and Karina goes, "Yes, for the mic." And so hold on. So have you been talking with Serena Wills?
Yes, she messaged me. She messaged me a few seconds before I went live. Yes.
Okay, it says
Good.
you two actually chatted.
Yes, a good conversation. Yes.
So good.
This is what I love about what I'm blessed to do. When people who have good like minds and good purposes and good hearts get together outside. This is good. Samantha says, "Good morning, everyone. Slept through my second alarm. Glad to be here."
Oh
now.
boy.
I'm hungover. That is fascinating.
Oh my gosh. All right. So what do you want to talk about this letter, or do you want us to take it on? Then you want to go all in on what you want to chat about today? Where you want to go next?
I think I start with the opening paragraph, and like a book report, we'll study it and it'll activate.
Book report. Wow, you're dating yourself there, young lady.
Look, yes, I told you.
Between Rolodex and book report? What?
But Dr. Vibe, are you able to zoom in?
Yeah, I can do more. I can do more.
Yeah. Or is it just my eyes? I don't know.
No, his screen is tiny. Yes.
Cool.
That's the best I can do.
That works a lot better.
That's the best I can do.
I'll
Okay.
even large up my screen here.
Okay. So continue, Minnie.
Okay. So it starts off with them writing to express my concerns about the upcoming Canada Disability Benefit and its potential impact on individuals with disabilities, including myself as a 39-year-old Black Canadian woman living with a permanent disability. My experiences navigating the complex and often challenges landscape of disability benefits and support in Ontario have left me deeply troubled by the new regulations. For nearly 2 decades, I have struggled with a debilitating condition that has profoundly altered my life. Despite my efforts to secure support through disability benefits, the disability tax credit, and various provincial programs, I have faced repeated denials and significant financial strain. This includes battling to cover essential medical expenses and managing the ongoing costs of prescriptions and assisted devices while dealing with the exclusion of pre-existing conditions by private health insurance. And I have to breathe, so we're going to talk about it. Yes.
Yeah, curious. So, troubled by the new regulations. Are you able to give a bit of high-level view of what you see coming down the pipeline that you're concerned with?
Yeah, luckily I made notes in that wonderful spreadsheet that Dr. Vibe can't navigate. So the new Canada Disability Benefit, it's based on people who are eligible and have an active disability tax credit. Plus, it's also based on their previous income taxes for the previous year. And to remain eligible for $200 a month is what they're proposing to give people in July 2025. Your income has to be under $23,000, and then you're allowed to make $10,000. So you have, if you're a single person, so there's single person, then there's couples. So as a single person, it's $23,000 based on last year's income taxes. Then the year going forward, you're allowed to make $10,000. And if you make $33,001 more, they decide their clawback system of reducing the $200. And then if you become a couple, let's say I got married or I became a common law with a future person, because I've been single now of a person from 10 years and he's long gone and hopefully never returns. But if there's a new person that comes into the picture, our income has, for me to be eligible, and they may not have a disability, it's 32,500 to be eligible
Combined.
based on for our income taxes. Then we're allowed to make $14,000. So that's a total of 46,500. If we make $1, actually not even $1 or a penny. I haven't figured that math is not still clear if they'll start it at a penny over or a dollar over. But I have other spreadsheets that I know if I make a penny over, they'll start clawbacking my income in like Ontario Disability Support Program. And the regulation is still public. I mean, click the link. I think it's still public. It's just that because I'm on Ontario Disability Support Program, their policy says I have to pursue other income sources before then, prove it, reasonable effort, and a timeline. And Ontario, Doug Ford will not announce if he'll claw this money back or not. So basically, I apply for money they'll take back that I'll probably never actually use or have because the way they balance out their program benefits. And I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not.
Man,
This is why I got activated and wrote my letters to people to listen.
Yes. Well, and you see when they go too far on the spectrum of making it so difficult to just navigate, that's when the public is going to push back. So I'm really glad to see, not glad that it activated you, but people, they need to hear that this is how this is going to affect people. So
not enough people are activated the way we think people are activated. It's definitely people in the disability community, Food Bank Canada, Maitri, Prosper Canada, and people who their children are disabled or their spouse is disabled, they may care or they may not. Because Doug Ford recently just said to homeless people or unhoused people to go get a job, and to be unhoused, you're not having a proper shower.
I heard that.
You're not getting good sleep.
Yep.
Wow.
We have a shortage of primary health. This is me talking like I'm Christian Tim, like yesterday. There's for me to be here, it took decades. You heard me. It took 2 decades of work to be here and write a letter that had coherent sentences with a little bit of grammar I have to go back and change. So I don't like Doug Ford. Every time he opens his mouth, he doesn't get it. He doesn't live in this at all. At all.
Like the disconnection definitely causes that.
With his 19 weeks of vacation, he doesn't get it.
Right. And I'm looking forward to actually learning a bit more about this. So I'm going to watch back and then actually go check out this act or the new regulation. My apologies. I do have to hit the road.
Bye, Dragon. Bye, Dragon.
Always good seeing you, Minnie. Thanks.
Bye,
Dr.
Dragon. Bye, Dragon. Take care.
Yes.
All right. Good stuff. Let me ask Minnie, from your lens, what is government doing right, if anything, when it comes to help assisting those who are disabled, the disabled community?
I'm trying to find it. Give me a minute. Because last time I was here, I was having difficulty with my caseworker at the Ontario Disability Support Program office. And now I have a permanent caseworker. She's catching up on my file. The 7th of the month, I have to report my income from September, month of September, October 7th, I report it. But it's a hard, okay, they pay my rent directly to my landlord. They increase my special diet because the whole hypertension, lymphedema, they added $86. So the way that I'm advocating for myself to access more out of the policy, because I know the policy, luckily there's not a lot of pushback happening. People are just like, oh yeah, no problem. You're approved. Here's your money. No problem. Which is nice. I like that because I know the policy and I'm requesting more, and I'm using ChatGPT to format my letter to request what I need. I'm less emotionally attached to it. So it actually becomes more of a business transaction of I know the facts, I know my rights, I'm accessing what I'm entitled to, and I'm getting it. But all of it took 20 years of policy changes to make that easier. Like 1996, when they made the act for Ontario Works and ODSP, Ontario Works, your asset limit was $625 that you had to keep in your bank account. Then over time, they changed it. Now it's $10,000 for someone on Ontario Works can keep their benefits, and they changed it for people with disabilities on ODSP from $5,000 to $40,000. But that took fighting that we're people and we deserve a quality of life, and we deserve to travel and have assets and buy a home and go back to college and live like any other normal person that would be in the economy. And it's still a battle. Like now I'm doing advocacy training with March of Dimes. I just finished my advocacy training, Race and Disability Canada. And every time I learn more about the history of the policy from the 1800s till now, it's been government policy since day one. And it's not government policy that benefits me, because every racialized community has a law in the books to suffocate them.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to think of what's good of going on, I guess because I'm born Canadian, my parents came here and I'm Canadian and I'm in Ontario. And when I was able to access things for my mental health in 2004, then find my family doctor, who's now still my family doctor after 20 years. Yeah, there's pockets of good stuff, but every time I go in, there's this extra level of stress of, I don't think I can get that. I got to max out my credit card to get that. Or it's a 2-year waiting list. It took 6 years to remove a mole on my back that is benign, but it took 6 years to have a dermatologist say, hey, yeah, we can take that off in the office right now. It shouldn't have taken 6 years. It should have been gone from the minute I saw it, knew it was itching me and bothering me, and they could have tested it 6 years ago.
Right.
Like I literally got the results a couple days ago. Like I had the stitches removed on Monday. Then yesterday they called me and said, hey, it's benign. I shouldn't have to worry about a mole on my back, may or may not be cancer. It should just be instantly, yes, we'll take it off, we'll test it, we'll figure it out, and we'll move on.
Got it. Just update on some comments here. We're hanging out with Minnie St. about how government policies are failing people with disabilities in Canada. Fitness IQ Cam goes, geez, Serena Will says, wow, not $1 over, and that amount is horrible. Fitness IQ, of course, she's one of the stars tomorrow at the Next Level Conference. Wish you would have came on here. Would have loved to have helped promote that. LinkedIn user says, I guess she's referring to Doug Ford. He was born with a spoon in his mouth. He won't get it until he experiences living with a disability.
No, because he has money, but okay.
Serena Will says, yes, 6 years you had to fight. 6 years, really? I want to take this just for a moment in a different direction. How many people in this community do you encounter that look like us?
Yesterday?
No, just in general during your journey.
Oh, in general? I mean, I need to talk to more of them. I'm home a lot. So me working from home and being in this bubble, I don't venture out a lot. But when I go to events, I can count them on one hand, two hand, if I'm lucky. And it's like how earlier we were talking about Elevate, who is supposed to be a Black entrepreneurship environment. I don't know anything about it. And it's because they don't advertise it properly to the community, or they don't advertise it in spaces that like social assistance. There's never a flyer for that in the disability offices. Every community has a disability office with a bulletin board of different things that people can access. It's not there.
Would you say, or do you think that many African Canadian organizations are ignoring this community?
Yes. Full stop. Yes. But and it's because of the history from the 1800s. It was like, first, the people with disability were considered connected spiritually more. Then they stripped that away bit by bit. We're medicalized, we're institutionalized. At one point, if you had a baby and it was not a healthy looking baby, you put the baby out in the woods and hope a wolf would, yeah. So And that's from colonialism. That's from European people coming over here with their nonsense, and they brainwashed us slowly over decades by each group of population that came over here with, like, it's ingrained in history, decades and decades of generations of not treating people with a disability as a human being. Like, how Air Canada rejects people with a wheelchair because their wheelchair is too big. If they built their planes originally to fit wheelchair sizes or have a section of the plane specifically for wheelchairs, people with wheelchairs could travel. Instead of, you have to tell them advance and they're supposed to do this and a reasonable amount of time, you can miss your trip. Like, the amount of conferences that people want to go to because that was their lifestyle before their disability and needing a wheelchair. And then you're telling them, just stay home. No, nothing out there for you. Like, anybody who has a regular life that they love, imagine something physically changes you that you can't do any of that anymore. And then everything in the system is set up to say, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. No, you have to talk to a lawyer. You wither away. That is still that is always there for an able-bodied, healthy person waiting to, when will it happen? How will it happen? What will it look like?
Gotcha.
And I'm dealing with it now. Like, someone I connected with in January at a Tony Robbins event is going through the process of Ontario Works to ODSP, and she got a settlement from her job, and the settlement income triggered a clawback of $6,465. They take back $49 a month to pay it back. It will be gone in 132 months. So when Wayne was talking the other day about insurance is not affecting ODSP, yes, it does. And I can show you where in the policy it will. And it's happening to a person right now. And she's non-BIPOC. So if it can happen to them, it can happen to us. And when it happens to us, we're not talking about it because we hold shame longer. And if you hold shame longer, it festers in the body and creates a disability.
Minnie St. is laying down some serious knowledge bombs here this morning on the Morning Vibe. Just want to do some catch-up comments here. From a number of minutes ago, Serena says it's been cloudy and rainy for days here. Remnants of the hurricane. Prayers up for the South. Yes, we do send out our best wishes. Hopefully no one has really gone through any craziness with that hurricane that's hit in Florida. And the good thing about it was a lot not as bad as they thought it was going to be. So really good to hear that news. Going back to our old OG stuff, Wayne Harris, Rolodex, book report, Cole's notes. Do it. Oh my gosh, do a tang. Oh yes, my.
Do it tang.
What? Wait, now you know what? I need to know anyone who has any of these things because that
I do. It's in my filing box right here. If I can dig around for it on a break.
And Hilroy notebooks. That's OG status. All right. LinkedIn user, 27% of Canada's population has a disability and 14% are from the Black community based on. Interesting if that is. Wow. If that's true, that's big.
No, it's true. It's just because Race and Disability Canada, they only help BIPOC people with a disability. And they get their funding from Dean Support Services. And Dean is a Muslim organization that helps people with disabilities. We have stats. We don't talk about them. I know this. I did 4 weeks of training with Race and Disability Canada. I got up to speed with what we have. I know it's there. We don't talk about it. Every story in the media about a person with a disability is typically a white person.
Yes, that I will say. And that's one of the reasons for many that I do have you on here to get the lens from a Black perspective, because you don't see it that often on mainstream media.
And because I do pretty well, I'm not a suffering disabled person. Those stories don't want me on. You know, many times I get edited every time I pitch them to be on their show because they want to have people with disabilities. They don't. And then when I do focus groups are not asking BIPOC questions. Like March and Dimes emailed me about an honorarium for an interview of episodic disabilities. I'm considering doing it. But I guarantee those questions are never going to be about my BIPOC experience unless it's with a BIPOC organization.
Okay. Got some questions here, but comments first. Fitness IQ says shame is one heck of a thing. And then Wayne also adds, a protractor. Wayne, why are you going there? And a 4-color big. You know what? We need to do a show of high school memories of things. Like, see if we can protractor. Oh, you remember we used to have those little kits that you would buy and have the protractor, your little ruler. What was the thing that was like a half moon that you would measure oh, you're gonna bring something out, aren't you?
Yes, it's right here on the box. The protractor, the ruler.
Well, because of your screen setup, we can't see it clearly, but we do see that you have it.
But I do. I have stuff from
protractor.
I have enough stuff that are from that generation of I still am.
That's crazy. All right. So Wayne asks, always love your content. What type of insurance affects ODSP, Ontario Disability?
All of them. Every one of them that gives them an income payout. Remember I told you $1 over, you get clawback?
Yep.
It's all of them. So each income has to be categorized as, I wrote them down the minute he said it. Earned income, non-earned income. Non-earned income happens in loans, section 5.10. Then 100% exemptions are the registered disability savings plan, your first vehicle, your primary residence. Like in treatment of income in ODSP's policy tells you what they accept, what they don't accept. So like someone who your primary residence, and someone says, oh, rent out the basement and get income. You have to claim that thing. And it's done by a 60-40 split. You have to make a separate document of this is my rental income. Then you send it to the caseworker. Then they do the math of this income is exempt. This income is not exempt. Then the next payment date, like today, September 27th is payment date for ODSP's checks for people on ODSP. So everybody's getting their payments right now. But some people, if they made money in August, their check is smaller right now, depending on what they got, how they got it, and what category of income with it. And then there's partial exemption. Partial exemption is the life insurance segregated funds I constantly talk about. And that's where most of my investments are. Every time I send it to a caseworker, if they don't understand what a segregated fund is, I tell them to contact my certified financial planner you can make an appointment with them and they can explain it to you. Because the caseworker office, they're not social workers. A lot of times people call them social workers. They're not social workers. They're case file managers. And their whole job is to detect if you're eligible or are you close to being fraud where they trigger an investigation. And an investigation can happen to me my entire life. And then there's business assets. Even though, yes, you can be self-employed or run a business on ODSP, ODSP's income minus expenses equals net profit is not calculated the same way it is at the Canada Revenue Agency. They chose approved expenses, and some of the approved expenses that are a normal business expense, that expense of income. So if I travel is one of them. They don't actually recognize an expense. The money I spend on travel. So if I go to an event in January for Las Vegas and I spend like $2,000 on travel, not only do I get my income deducted for the days I left the province, I also get the income I spent on travel for a business expense deducted.
Okay.
This is an obligation to pursue potential sources of income. That could be anything interpreted by a caseworker who's having a bad day.
We're throwing in the OG stuff with the serious stuff today. So Wayne, yes, compass. That's what I was looking for. Samantha says, woo, wow, I still use lots of those. And let's not date me too. And Samantha's under 20 years old. She still uses some of that stuff. JJ Mars, compass with a small pencil.
The golf pencil.
Yeah, those little pencils. Just throw in Trapper Keepers while we're at it. Trapper Keepers, what are those?
Is that the pencil case that was in your binder?
I have no idea.
Wonder.
Okay. So Wayne says term insurance only pays when you die.
And who is the beneficiary? A person on disability or a person not on disability? Are they on ODSP or a different provincial program? Every penny they count. Every penny they can claw back. It doesn't matter if it's term, life, whole, segregated funds, investments, dividends, none of that. Every penny, even if you win the lottery. In Ontario, if you win a lottery of $10,000, it's fully exempt 100%. If you win a lottery over $10,000, they claw back the income. It's the lottery. There's no taxes on lottery in Canada, but Ontario ODSP, yes, you do.
Oh, this Trappers held the do-tangs. Then Serena Wills goes, no, it was a souped-up binder here in the States. It had cool colors and it closed with Velcro. Okay.
And it was soft padded. Yeah, the soft.
Wayne goes, only whole life and universal life have cash values, so only these would apply to ODSP. Critical illness and disability insurances I can see hurting ODSP.
Even if you see it, I can read the policy right now and show it to you. It's going to get clawed back and exactly where. And I've seen it. I literally seen it happen to people. Because when people are getting the clawback from disability because something they thought was okay because the insurance issued to them as, oh, it's okay for ODSP. No, the caseworker can turn around and literally screw you in the foot because it falls into the policy and then they escalate it to the manager and then you have to escalate it going to tribunal. Anytime they make a decision in writing, I have to bring that decision to legal aid and fight it back. And if they do the audit and they say, oh, yes, we really made this decision, you really have that clawback, I owe the government, Ontario, money for something that the insurance gave me that actually causes more stress and harm. It's every penny. I don't know how many times I have to say it's every penny, no matter where it comes from.
Okay. Wayne says, looks like if you name a beneficiary who is disabled, you might want to consider a trust or some other vehicle that separates the person from the payout.
Henson Trust, asset limit, $100,000, Section 4.8 life insurance policies. I don't know how many times I have to say it. Everything you do in financial estate planning is a section of the policy directive and ODSP.
Wow. Okay.
Now I'm just irritated because I don't know how many, I've said it 6 times.
All right. Serena says, I know disability I know disability is different here in the States, but I remember a good friend of mine having to do reports every month and it was so stressful, let alone getting approved and keeping your benefits. She also says, during the height of my Lyme disease, I got turned down 3 times when I filed for SSI here in the States. Their reasoning was that I was able to work and seem okay. My doctors were infuriated.
And that policy is copied in Canada and the UK and in Australia.
Fitness IQ Cam says, you're on fire, Minnie. Well, you trained her, did you? No, I don't know which one of you trains the other.
No, I came hatched this way. I can't.
Wayne Harris says, yes, the Henson Trust works.
But it's still a limit of $100,000. According to ODSP, it could be more money in there. Even if there's more money in there, ODSP literally says 100,000. If you're over 100,000, they claw back your income. That's excess of assets.
So is
that
there
policy directive?
So educate me here, Minnie. Is there a need for ODSP to raise that $100,000?
Yeah, all the asset they do need to raise the asset limits, but I've found every asset limit for every disability program on the provincial level across the country, they cap the assets at $150,000. That's why I have that spreadsheet that you can't navigate. They're all there. And the trends of the numbers are roughly the same. They keep everyone's income limit before $40,000 for income. Then they cap the assets to $150,000. If someone's in government housing, if you weren't on ODSP and living in government housing, because it's possible to be in government housing and not have social assistance, they say their asset limit is $150,000. But then they say if you're on OW, Ontario Works, and then if ODSP, Ontario Disability Support Program, they refer to their asset limits test and income testing in their policy directive. I read all of it. I bookmarked all of it. I read it every day till 4:00 in the morning. I memorized it. I'm staring at it right now on my second monitor. They everything, income, assets, marital status. I'm like, if I get into a relationship and we're having the serious talk about a relationship, I literally ask him, how much assets do you have? And are you prepared to have them claw back to this amount?
Wow.
I don't like, I don't know how many times I got to say it. I don't know how many, Wayne is not grasping this. I don't know how many times, but it's there. It's like, from 2020 till now, I've been reading this policy directive. I see what date it was published, what day it was updated. I read the Ontario newsroom all the time. I'm on all the webinars. I'm talking to people at March of Dimes. I'm talking to people at Prosper Canada. I'm talking to every webinar there, and I do not like it at all. I said it in my last YouTube video. It's a bad deal, and we're getting the short end of the stick.
Okay. All right. So Serena says, be well, I want to have to head off to work. Thank you for talking about this important topic, Minnie. You're a powerhouse. Wayne says, less than 1% of my clients are disabled. This is probably why most advisors aren't aware or focused on this market. I will reach out to see what we can do to come up with a solution. Also says, sounds like people are suffering under a policy that never served the clients, only the government.
Yes, I just read the so Monday was the final day to send your public feedback on the Canada Disability Benefit that's coming out right now. I read piece of my letter that is sent to the federal government, not just representatives of the federal government. It's sent directly in the public feedback link of the federal government. Now that that's closed, people have to contact their representatives. The proposed draft regulation is still available online. People can read it. There's a shorter condensed version. Inclusive Canada made a short note version. Tree made a short-term version. Like, there's organizations that made it shorter to understand it. March of Dimes made a presentation on it with PowerPoint presentation slides. Like, it's made in more English for people to understand it and they can read it. But the whole thing about it is, if you think, oh, I'm healthy, and don't read it, you're not going to know what to change in it. And then if you're a person with a disability, because you're so stressed, so traumatic, trying to support them, trying to support you, trying to find government programs, you're not thinking to read it. Like, I read it because I'm 39 now, and this is something for my entire life I have to worry about. So yeah, I'm going to read it. I want to know, what did I sign up for? Why did I sign all these documents for? I signed for this when I applied for ODSP. I'm forever for life embedded into this system, forever and ever. So yeah, I need to sign where, like, the deal with the devil thing, you sign in blood. That's what I did. This is it.
Okay.
And then financial advisors, a batch of them, just think we're not profitable, so they don't help us. There's something wrong in the financial service industry that doesn't help people that need this the most.
Wayne says, your advocacy is on point. Why do you believe the powers that be aren't listening? I think you may just answer that. Why is it so complicated to resolve?
Profits. So like the Canada Dental Plan is issued out by Sun Life Insurance. The government made the deal with Sun Life Insurance to make this Canada Dental Plan to get more people access to dental care. When I go to my dentist, I cannot just go there with ODSP's dental benefit plan. I also have to have the Canada Dental Plan. Then my insurance broker from Policy Me, because I went online, I got quotes from every company there is for insurance. He's still working on it to try to get me an affordable insurance plan. He's been working on it for a whole year now. Every 6 months, he's emailing me, are you ready to buy a plan? Are you ready to do this now? I said, yes, but now I got to worry about the Canada Dental Plan. And then he went and did the mansplaining thing of a policy that I already know, and then screenshot me the thing I already told him to go look at that I already know. So I have people literally talking to me like, oh, don't worry your pretty little head. I know everything that's here, and it keeps me up at night. Everything that's here. Because I'm forced to apply for things. I'm forced to pursue other sources of income. I'm forced to Like I'm forced to access things that my budget I do every month on my YouTube channel cannot afford. So like my critical illness insurance is going to be $75 a month. If I can get it in place for January, because that was the goal to get it in place in January, but I still have to keep it active every single month. That means every single month I have to make sure in that checking account has $75 plus taxes to pay for my critical illness. Then when I'm figuring out how the Canada Dental Plan works, and then I know that I can get Desjardins for $287 a month for dental, vision, chiropractor budget's like $600 for the whole year. I got the biggest package possible from Desjardins that they said I qualify for. The only thing that's stopping me from getting it is having that monthly premium in my bank account every single time so I don't bounce a check and get NSF fees. So great. Yes, you can help people with a disability, but if they're so below the poverty line and in survival mode where they cut everything because they mentally can't process handling that expense, or they just don't afford it anymore because ODSP keeps you at $1,368. Ontario Works keeps you at $733. The money is not going to go there. And then depending on your disability and the ability to work or not work, like Doug Ford thinks, oh, just go get there and get a job. No, because a job has to see you as profitable for the company before they hire you. But if you're coming in with baggage and coming in with already, I need my benefit package today. Like if you hire me today, I expect my benefit package to be activated tomorrow morning. And I know down to the penny exactly what that cost is.
Got it. Wayne has another question. I think we're getting to the point that we should have you and Wayne on together. I think that Mr. Harris, would you be up for something like that? I think it'd be a good idea. Would a quarterly, semi-annual, or annual payment be better for your benefits?
Do I got to show you my budget? Where's the money coming from? It's not about the payment structure. Is the money has to be there to pay it.
Right.
Like I know policy, I know my financial numbers, I budget every single month publicly on social media. And there's months where I'm like, oh, I'm not going to make it. Like right now, I maxed out my credit card being out last night. And then my disability payment that came in, I literally have to move $100 to get $50 on one credit card, $25 on another, $25 on another, just so that I may or may not hit that over the limit fee on my credit cards. And then, oh yeah, the statement comes on the 3rd of the month, the 5th of the month, the 17th, and the 18th of the month. That's 4 credit cards I got to manage. Make sure everyone gets their minimum payment on time. So I keep up my on-time payment streak. So hopefully they'll increase my limit in the future that may or may not pay for insurance premiums in the future. Like, yes, I'm able to work, but I don't work a job that pays me every 2 weeks. I earn commission income. And if I physically are not able to work because of my disability, or I forgot to take my meds, or something happens, or there's more factors for me that stop me from working. I'm not at the time. Monday morning, go there in traffic for 9 a.m. I don't do that anymore. I haven't done that since 2008. 2008, I was working in the call center for the Canadian Financial Institution of Bankers, registering everybody for their courses to become a financial advisor or financial planner. I knew exactly what course you need to take and how much it costs and what your next course was and what to take. Every time someone in the call center, they're from RBC, they're from Scotiabank in Jamaica, they're from BMO in Barbados. One time, a person from Barbados called in that had a hurricane, and they had to pay a natural disaster fee to reschedule their exam. But a whole tree blocked the road and she couldn't get to her exam. And I had to read the policy. It's like, yes, I understand this, but you still got to pay $500 to reschedule your exam. So yeah, I know the financial industry inside and out. And the only thing that's stopping me from getting there is passing the exam. And then, oh yeah, finding a financial firm that will have me work there. Like knowledge, I know the knowledge. I know what to do. It costs money. Me writing those exams are not free. And then I have to get a disability accommodation. It's a whole thing. It's not just, oh, I live with a disability and it goes away. It never goes away.
All right. So C-Nurse K says it is truly deplorable what the government is doing. Where is the humanity? So sorry you have to deal with this. So you went to an event last night. Is there any inkling of you to get involved politically?
I think I already am. Well, I mean, I don't know how much of me is going to volunteer with this person's office, but the letters that we opened with and me doing the follow-up as you suggested, yeah, I already am. From the time I finished the advocacy leadership training with Race and Disability Canada, me signing up for the advocacy toolkit from March of Dimes, me protesting against sex worker rights in 2013, I have been. It's part of being an Aquarius. When you read that zodiac sign, it's been there. It's just I need to figure out I need to figure out how much of that I want to be involved in or not, because right now I could still be roughly anonymous about it. Like, yes, I'm registered to vote. Yes, I know who to contact for sending my constituent letters and my concerns and grievances. But the minute I decide to spend my time volunteering in those offices or knocking on doors and giving out their flyers and things like that, it's a whole different commitment.
Yep.
Like, and it's not like, oh, I can go switch to a different party. You kind of pick a party and stick with it for life. I've noticed that with my parents. Like, they came here in the 70s. They vote that party all the time because that party brought them to the country in the 70s. And even though, yes, they know there's other options, but you've talked to my grandma, she's never going to change that vote. It's always going to be that red party for life.
Yep. Okay. Do you want to go any more into the letter? Or are you good?
No, we're going to go into this letter. Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to go into the letter.
Go back to the letter for a bit. So let's do our letter of the day. And family, keep the questions coming. So you left off.
I think it's the stress and anxiety of living with a permanent disability in Canada.
Yeah.
Okay, so the stress and anxiety of living with a permanent disability in Canada are compounded by a very bureaucratic system that often feels punitive rather than supportive. The emotional toll of navigating the system, combined with the stigma and discrimination I encounter, severely impacts my quality of life. The fear of losing housing, maintaining relationships, and the constant pressure to prove my eligibility for support have made it nearly impossible to achieve a sense of stability and security. I'm particularly concerned about the implications of the new Canada Disability Benefit regulations. My current disability tax credit is set to expire in December 2025, and the uncertainty around whether the Canada Disability Benefit will be subject to clawback by Ontario is distressing. The possibility of being required to apply for a benefit that might ultimately be reclaimed by the provincial government only adds to my anxiety and sense of insecurity. Moreover, the new regulation could have an adverse effect on personal relationships. For instance, if I were to enter a new relationship or marriage, the financial scrutiny and income threshold imposed by the government could significantly impact both my partners and my own financial stability. This creates an additional layer of complexity and stress that could discourage individuals with disabilities from pursuing meaningful personal relationships. Am I reading more?
It's up to you. It's your show. I'm just steering the ship.
Oh, good. There's just one paragraph on this letter. In summary, the proposed Canada Disability Benefit, in conjunction with Ontario's provincial regulation, risks causing more harm than benefit to individuals with disability. I urge you to consider these concerns seriously and to advocate for a final implementation of the Canada Disability Benefit that truly addresses the needs of people like me. Supportive and compassionate measures are essential to prevent further emotional and psychological harm. I will also, and then it says I'm sharing the ODSP letter, but it roughly sounds the same.
Okay, no problem. So thank you for sharing what do you want to, what would be a good next step after the writing and sending of this letter?
Right now, it's at the follow-up with my Toronto Center office, and they'll let me know. Like, it was left in the last email that they will let me know when Christian Wong Tam will read it in Parliament or Queen's Park with Doug Ford. Mm-hmm. they record that. That goes on social media. So like I wanted me to be first to read my letter on a public recording forum. And then, yes, if she reads it again in official capacity where all political office leaders will be there, it's good. Either they're gonna feel a human emotion, or they're gonna go in their political robot scripts. I know it. I see it all the time when Kamala Kern talks about the Canada Disability Benefit. She thinks it's a life-changing deal, first in a lifetime deal. It's $200 a month that the government Ontario will claw back, because if Doug Ford is still in power in 2025, why am I signing paper to give him more money? Why am I being a minion for Doug Ford so he can claw back my money that I need? I just told you where I need it. Critical illness insurance and my dental private insurance. Right there, that's over $300 of money that I need to come up with to pay for those insurance benefits for the future. And critical illness is the most important part for me, because if I get diagnosed with something in the future and I'm not covered, I'm screwed.
Right. C Nurse K says, in my opinion, conservatives want to make the healthcare system so unbearable that people, quote, get on board, unquote, with privatization. It's cruel.
Privatization is already here. Me seeing the dermatologist, the only reason they saw it is because they have a pocket of patients they see covered on OHIP, and majority of the dermatologist clinic is private people doing their treatments, maintaining the vanity of anti-aging. Like I now have to go back because there's things on my face I want to remove. It's not covered by OHIP. And it starts at $165 for the consultation. And then each little thing on my face I want to remove, it's over $100. My whole face could cost me $2,000 for one appointment to remove things off my face, because I also want to look younger.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. C Nurse K also says, it would be amazing if the minister responsible for this file were to have you as a paid consultant in a way that doesn't negatively impact your tax time.
It will. It doesn't matter. I don't know how much I have to break down the income policy directive of ODSP. It's going to. I know it's going to. I get people don't want it to, but I read the policy and it will. Every penny that comes into me is affected.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I've accepted that. I planned it. I know exactly where it's supposed to go. I know where to keep my receipts and do my bookkeeping and send it to the government. I'm okay with it. But the policy is already in place, and I operate in the policy that we have.
Okay. C Nurse K also says, excuse me, sorry to clarify, they want it to be like the US, so just what is deemed, quote, cosmetic, unquote.
Of the dermatologist.
Yeah. Wow. Crazy. Ms. Minnie, what are the next steps? So you're going to follow up with the Ms. Wong Tam's office. Who else have you tried to follow up with Kamal Kara and or Marcy Ian?
Their office got my letter. Their automated response said they got my letter.
Well, so Marcy's in your neighborhood.
I know. I know. I don't like her. She was on a street nearby, and I purposely avoided walking around her. So yeah.
So if you so far it looks like you have some traction with Ms. Wong Tam. What would be your next steps if you don't get any traction with Ms. Ian or Ms. Kara? Do you have
I have 2 decades of living with my disability. I was telling Benjamin, who responded to my email, I could write you a letter every day about what's wrong in the policy. And he's like, no, we'll work on this letter first. That's what he told me. And I could write everybody, one of these people, a letter every day to tell them what's wrong in the disability policy. And I just gave Wayne a very expensive lesson. Typically, I'm supposed to be charging $1,000 to teach what I just taught, but the public needs to hear it regardless of how much money I would like to charge it for consultations. And it's just part of the process. Like they have their letter. Yes, I could write them every day. I did that for my building for them to do pest control. I sent them a letter every day, and I contacted 311 every single day to the point where they fumigated the entire building.
Wow.
And everybody in the building was very upset. I know I have a mild influence impact when I activate it. I'm not activating it right now. I have to take care of myself. This is mentally exhausting. I just shared everybody my entire life in this letter, and I show it on my social media every month. Like September, yes, I uploaded a video on my YouTube channel for September doing my budgets, but the video before that was in May. I took a 4-month break, and I had to.
Got it. Yeah. All right. I think we're going to shut it down for today. You got the letter?
I was on a roll.
Okay. Well, no. What more do you want to roll with? It's up to you.
I mean, what is chat? Is chat asking questions?
Well, Wayne's been asking questions.
Is there any new questions of Wayne that I can answer?
No, I, Wayne, if you are still here, please would like to end. Okay, let's see. But you did amazing this month, Minnie. Fitness IQ Cam. Fitness IQ Cam, do you have any questions about? Yeah, let's say, hold on here. Oh, we did our challenge. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, we're supposed to be uploading content every day for 30 days.
Oh, yes. Upload challenge. This is good. So you two are like accountability partners.
Yeah.
Good. No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. What what was your so I think you mentioned it briefly, but what was your response when Doug Ford made that statement? About people that get up on work.
I mean, it's a weird combination of I don't like him, and then the stuff I do mention him, it's like I'm trying not to pile on the same way other people on disability, because like Ontario Disability Support Program has over 500,000 people, household benefit unit members eligible and receiving ODSP.
Wow,
and it's a combination of exactly.
Lot. I didn't know that.
Is. Yeah, and then Ontario Works is the same number. They're pretty close, and only 1% of people on social assistance leave social assistance because they earned enough income to leave, whether through marriage, because I already told you why it would be difficult for me to merge into a couple, or they get an inheritance, or they magically earn enough income to walk away. Like there's a way of walking away, but you're not fully walking away because of the health insurance. So even though, yes, we like my income to increase, we like me to not be fully in ODSP, but I will be moved on to extended health benefits. It's the same health benefit plan in the policy directives I can read to you. And then if I don't get that insurance, it's Trillium. Trillium issues the prescriptions from Ontario Drug Benefit. So it's not like my other letter breaks down every program I would access. It's 5 different programs regulated by the government that I would access to get compression socks or assisted devices or prescriptions. Like if my multiple sclerosis progresses, there's only a limited amount of drug treatment I could access because my insurance is Ontario Drug Benefit Program. And then if I really need, like there's an intravenous treatment that some people in MS will get that shuts down their immune system. They're on steroids. They're sitting there in a chair with the IV drip in their arm. That's like 4 days a week or once a month, depending on the schedule and depending on the drug. For me, having ODSP as my insurance and then having that treatment plan covered, it has to be applied through the exceptional access program. They can deny it. So even though, yes, we have all these things, we have all these programs still can deny me from getting treatment that my doctors are trying to find the best option for me. This is why I need to make sure I can get my private insurance and then figure out, will the private insurance cover that new treatment? Will they not? Is it going to cost me money? Do I buy the generic? Choices are made for me without my decision power being made. Like the government made a choice for me that I literally have to sign up and just go in line and go take it. Like the compression socks, someone found me a clinic that takes ODSP insurance. It's in a neighborhood I would never travel to for 90 minutes there and back. And they have to treat me, depending on how long the treatment plan is, there and back for 90 minutes, getting bus fare to go back and forth, instead of me paying $70 for the clinic that does lymphedema massage therapists, physiotherapists, for $70 a treatment that I would claim on my income taxes. Like choices are stripped away from me. How I get married, how we talk about our finances, they've already decided.
That's not fair.
Like CBC already made articles of people are afraid to become a couple or divorce because of disability benefits.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So casual and single, yes, because the financial distraught that will come out of merging someone who's maybe they're not mentally prepared to handle all these things long term. They decided a life for me that I never asked for.
I think that's a good way to end off this month. Your life's being decided and you had no input on it. All right. Fitness IQ says, I'm just listening and trying to stay alive. And then Wayne says, still here, no questions. Disability in this country is not respected. It's clear. All right. That's a wrap for this month. You are on fire.
I am.
Was last night part of it, or just today, or a combination?
Yeah,
of last
it was.
Night?
It totally, because last night wasn't a typical go support a political party being nominated. It's the people I met. I didn't come home till 3:00 in the morning, and I still showed up here 9 a.m. bright and bushy, ready to like.
Because you're passionate. Yeah. You're passionate about it. That's right.
Luckily, the notes were prepared last month. I prepared this last month. So
plan ahead. Don't have to do it right from the get-go. Plan ahead. So that's why there's a good lesson.
I may email you like 2 days before, but I've been working on this thing all month.
I know you are on it. You are on it. So people, there's Minnie's email address if you want to get in contact with her. I've shared it on most of the platforms that you're watching this.
And it's also my YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah. So it's YouTube, the whole YouTube URL, and then Minnie on Cam at the end of it.
All right. So look, thank you again. And there's progress. First of all, I'm happy to see the microphone. I knew everything was going to be bonus after that. And then you being out there last night and pushing it and saying, you know what, if it's gonna be, it's up to me mindset.
Yeah. I mean, there's a whole pray like it's up to God, but you still do it anyway. It's the staircase, the one step at a time thing. It's that.
Well, as it said, yard by yard, I know we're metric in Canada, but back to the imperial, yard by yard, too hard, inch by inch, it's a cinch. And it's the little things that make the difference. The little things in the vine that make the difference. All right, Miss St. Clair, go outside, enjoy some more sunshine, or go get some rest from your long night last night. Which one you going to do?
I need more water and breakfast.
Okay, go eat, or you're dead, and you got too much still to do before it's all over. Take care. All right, family, that is it. Minnie rocked the house again. No surprise. All right, so let's start closing things up. As always, subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Want to get to 1570 subscribers, and I think we're going to get there sooner rather than later. I like the little steady progression. I like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. To advertise your business, product, or service on the platform, please email me at dr.vibe@thedr.com. Join the Discord group, dr.vibe@thedr.com. So a few things coming up live this Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll be hosting the U.S. VP debate watch party. So if you enjoyed our last watch party between Harris and 45, round 2 is coming. And just to put it out there, we will be doing a watch party on November 5th, the date of the U.S. election. And the unique thing about this watch party, we have 3 ladies from the U.S., African Canadian ladies. We now also have an African Canadian lady from Canada. And then we've got 3 African Canadian men. So good mix of commentary. It was very well received. So we're doing it again. So that is coming up this Tuesday, October 1st, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Anything else I want to share? I've put it in the comments section. This is where you can get a hold of Ryan. Get in line, especially after the Dragon's Den appearance. RyanOneilKnight.com, LinkedIn, Ryan Oneil Knight. Then Instagram at Ryan.99. And the Knight is Knight. All right. And then email address, workwithme at RyanOneilKnight.com. And if you want to get in touch with me, website, the drvibeshow.com. Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, The Dr. Vibe Show, and Instagram at The DRVIBESHOW, and X/Twitter at DRVIBESHOW. Do people call it X, or people call it Twitter, or do you call it both? I'm curious. And then email address dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. All right. So, and also coming up on Monday, all the replays. Sorry. Watch the replays of this on the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and also the Afro Caribbean Business Network on Facebook, and then Ryan Oneil Knight on YouTube. Caught all that in. And also, I was going to say, coming up on Monday's show, we're going to show Ryan Knight on Dragon's Den landing a deal for his company, an investment in his company, Detailing Knights, where he got $150,000 for 25%, giving out 25% of his company. And the gentleman that the dragon that invests is a gentleman who is the owner and started 1-800-JUNK. So come in on Monday. I may even do a short little video over the weekend to promote that. But tell everybody we'll be watching the whole Dragon's Den segment on Monday morning. And Ryan will go deep dive. We talked a little bit about this morning. We'll go more deep dive into it on Monday. So as we finish off, as always, live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. And as always, don't just manage your time, manage your energy. And remember to give yourself grace. God bless. Peace to well. Keep the faith and walk good.